Hello, my name's Anne Pepper. I live in Tala. I have done for a number of years. I'm a parent. I have 6 adult children. I have 7 grandchildren, which I adore very much. I live now on my own. My children have all left home. I wasn't always a wheelchair user myself. I started using the chair when I got the late effects of polio. I walked, I had a family, I wallpapered and decorated my own home, I did all the family shopping, did everything. But now there's not a lot that I can do, but I do as much as I can. I use a manual chair in the house and I use a motorised chair when I go out. I wouldn't be able to go outside my door unless I had a motorised chair. I wouldn't have the strength in my arms. The effects of the recession on me as a polio survivor, I suffer from the cold quite a lot. I don't use my heat when there's nobody in the house. I don't put on my lights when there's nobody on in the house. And the thing that breaks my heart is I only go out now when I absolutely have to, because it costs me to charge my motorised chair. It will be on a 6 to 8 hour charge each time that I want to go out. It would be a lot dearer than doing 7 or 8 washes a day to charge in the chair. That's how dear it can be. The services I'd like to see an improvement in is transport for disabled people and sick people that have to go to the far side of the city to see a specialist. And if they're not finished and checked in at reception again at 4:15, they don't get any transport home. Politicians need to meet disabled people. They need to knock on the disabled people's doors. They need to talk to them. They need to listen to them. And each disabled person has a different story to tell. And they'd want to stop cutting back on the health issues. They'd want to stop cutting back on transport, hospital services, stop closing down beds and wards, stop putting the hike on the prescriptions at 50 cent a night, in which they're talking about bringing into play. I'll speak from my own point of view. If they bring that into play, there'll be a lot of medication that I won't be collecting in the chemist. In the next budget, if they cut social welfare again, our rent will still go up. The cost of electricity will still go up. The cost of gas or oil will still go up. The cost of food, clothing, medication, everyday life. And it'll mean that I'll be able to do less next year than I can do this year. And I'm really struggling the way things are this year.
Well, my name is Ciara Lynch and I'm originally from Longford, but I moved up to Dublin about 3 years ago to work part-time in the Irish Wheelchair Association. So I'm a full-time writer on the magazine Spoke Out. Myself and my boyfriend went to Australia and New Zealand for 3 months, so that was really good fun, and it was quite, well, I suppose it wasn't quite an eye-opener because I've always known that Ireland is really, really, really bad when it comes to wheelchair access and disability. But it's quite frightening how far ahead other countries are and how far we are behind. The main problem that I have with my occupational therapist is getting to see them. See her isn't a problem. Like, she's really, really nice and willing to help, but at the end of the day, it's not your OT that makes the decision as to whether the equipment that you need can be purchased or not. So unfortunately, it's like if you need a new nut for your wheelchair or you need a new part for your wheelchair, it's like, okay, well, we'll send you for an assessment, so that'll take a few weeks, and then we'll wait and see what the assessment comes back to us and says, and then we'll try and get some funding, and we might let you know in like 6 or 8 months if you can actually get that note for your wheelchair. So it's just a bit unrealistic, and then especially for me, because my chair is everything. Like, if I haven't got my chair, I can't get up, I can't get out of bed, I can't go to work, I can't live my life in any way. So if there's something wrong with my chair, I don't need to fix in a year. I need to fix within a reasonable amount of time. I mean, if I don't have the proper supports on my wheelchair, like I will develop back problems and pressure sores, and that's all going to lead to more ill health, and that's all going to lead to the state having to pay more money. If there was a problem with my wheelchair, I wouldn't be able to go to work, and if there's problems, say for a month, well, like what are you expecting? Really expecting employers to hold open jobs for a month because the wheel fell off my wheelchair?
My name is Anne Clancy. I have MS. I've had it for 35 years, so I'm well used to it now. I've got 8 PAs a day, and they make a huge difference to my life. They do everything for me, and they really are my hands and everything else that I need. They get me up out of bed in the morning. They give me my lunch in the afternoon. Then they put me back on the bed after that, and that's where I am at the moment. Then the next two come in and get me up out of bed, give me my evening meal, and then the next lot come in at about 8:30, 9 o'clock and put me to bed again. So I feel my life revolves around getting in and out of bed. It's grand. It's quite a long day for me, but the PAs are just terrific. I don't know how I'd manage without them. They do everything that needs to be done in here. Some of them would iron for me, and others would do all the cleaning for me. Not that I would expect them to do it, but they just do it anyway. And they keep the place extremely tidy, so that if anybody comes to visit me, the place always looks great, which is terrific for me. If I didn't have a PA, I don't know what I'd do, because they really do everything for me. I just couldn't manage it at all. I really need them. I think we really need funding, and sufficient funding to fund all the PAs, to pay them, to make sure that they'll always come to me and other people to make us much more comfortable, and at least I can be looked after by the PAs, but then when they go I have time to myself, and that's very important. We're to have time alone. It's great to know that the PAs are going to be coming in.